Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Moin.
Hello, you gas cats.
Hello. Can you hear us? Yes, I guess you can.
We're
Yes,
just
you can.
discussing how much better 9gag is than any actual miniature forum for positivity. I mean, the rest of the time they're racist, evil bastards.
Yeah,
But if you want to paint some SPAC Marines, then they're pretty on board for that. Except me.
Hello, Crispin, Mr. Demon Sub, and
There's
Nick.
Nick.
From the
I've not seen
startup.
you in
That's
fucking
That's
forever.
a first.
Not seen you in a coon's age, Nick. What have you been up to?
I think he was here last week, but to the end
Was
of
I?
the show. I think you were. Hello, Rinoko.
Doesn't. I mean,
While we're...
what?
He's been banging coons, says Crispin, and I'll allow that.
That makes sense. Tim's been told he has to stay off the Hitler juice. Not by me, by his kittens.
That would actually make sense. Though, I'm a bit annoyed. One of them managed to slip in the hobby room and managed to kill some miniatures.
Right. Not rats, like they're supposed to.
No, sadly not.
Well,
They were. I
Playtest.
was able to glue them back together. So
no, that's all right then. Hi, Didi.
easy, Redverse.
Before we go any fucking further,
We're going to
playtesting
talk-
your retro Blood Bowl rules tonight. What are they? Are they just where you take away that extra stat the Games Workshop added for no fucking reason? Is that what you're playtesting?
It's
Because
basically
it works. It worked for like 40 years.
it's the I'm guessing the Living Rule Book version 3 that was
Hey,
the
Emma.
basis of the re-release. Hello, Emma.
Emma!
Nice to
Somebody called Emma won Ogres from War Games Atlantic in their monthly sub thing. Was that you? Was it different Emma? One of those. I've not had a chance to look at those yet. Not you. Damn it. I want to see those. I should buy some.
see you.
I
Speaking
don't
of
need any more
seeing
orders.
stuff, I've heard so many good things of the homepage redesign from Games Workshop.
Yeah, I've heard it's been amazing. I've heard step 1, decide what you want to look at. Step 2, click through 150 tabs to find that.
How
Step
wrong-
3, try and ignore the pop-up where you had to choose your country because it's not gone away. It's good times.
I was watching the painting phase today, and yeah, people have been complaining that their vouchers that were connected to their accounts were gone.
All deleted. Oh, nice.
And people
Times.
were on FacePage going, yeah, I had £100 of vouchers sitting in my account. Where are they? Oh, we had a little invasion of goblins.
Can anybody remember, I want to say like 4 years ago, maybe less, Games Workshop redesigned their warehouse system and their website and said it cost like 3 million. They wrote 3 million off because that was the cost of the upgrade to the website and the back end. And now they're using something that looks like it's been cobbled together from Shopify. So
Yeah.
that 3 million well spent, I feel.
Even though I feel
I
that
suggest the
website
tax
is an
office.
insult to Shopify now.
HMRC should look at them for fucking diddling their books if they spent fucking 3 to 4 million on a website and a back end system and now they're using that. That feels like fraud. It's been going on there.
Yeah, it's
That's the one, the warehouse that doesn't supply the stores.
it's something.
Oh, they're amazing.
Or to put it like somebody else said before me today, the thing wasn't broken. Why fix it?
Who knows?
I think one of the worst things is they, as I've learned today, Games Workshop had 360 views of the miniatures on their
Yes.
webpage.
I remember Lloyd talking about this.
They're gone.
They've all been taken away. My guess, right, and I'm just spitballing here, you know how they treat their staff with as much contempt as they treat the people who buy their product?
No.
My suggestion is the web designer got shit canned and they didn't actually get the passwords and stuff off him. He'd set everything up, and he just went, "Fire me, will you, cunts?" And just turned it all off. And then there's a certain amount of panic from whoever's on the fucking board, and he just went, "I've seen Squarespace pop up on YouTube videos I watch. Can we use that?" And
That
somebody
would
else
be
went, "That sounds like a
so
great idea. We
hilarious."
can all use Squarespace." And they've just cobbled together something. Meanwhile, the guy sitting at home laughing his ass off and just spinning gifs of fucking Space Marines around in his house.
Speaking of Square bases, they also mentioned on the Paint Your Face that there will be next year another new homepage that will be called Games Workshop The Old World and have a square cursor to navigate the site. And it's just for Warhammer The Old World.
Are they missing a number of ABC Warriors from the starters? No. / yes. They're not all there, but that's not the complete range. If anybody thinks that Warlord are going to release the entire range of ABC Warriors in one go and it'll all be in the starter set, that's not happening. I don't know why people have been very confused by this, because I've seen a lot of people talk about it on Discord and stuff.
I think
Wave 1 is the core set plus a few add-ons, and then there'll be waves now for the next year, because they have to maintain the license from Rebellion, they have to release a different 2000 AD game every year or every 2 years. I can't remember which is in the contract, because I was talking to somebody from Warlord about this. So ABC Warriors, they'll all come eventually. They're not there yet, and the reason they're not there is they need supplemental purchases to be added in over the next couple of weeks / months.
I think the main reason is, I'm guessing the same as mine. I was seeing the release and then I was looking instinctively for the one that was shown on the Judge Dredd movie with Sly Stallone, the red one.
Yeah, you won't find that. It technically doesn't exist because it's not a real ABC Warrior.
Oh, okay.
No, they've already... Oh, no, they haven't done Rogue Trooper yet, have they? They've done...
Didn't they do a card game for him?
No, well, yeah, Warlord haven't touched it yet. I'd imagine Rogue Trooper will probably be next. I don't imagine there'll be any more waves for Slonya based on what's already out there, because they've got to move on. So it's like Dread release, other 2000 AD, Dread. It's like every other year has to be a different 2000 AD thing. Strontium, Dread. Take Dread out of that. Dread is the core. It's like 40k, and then the other things are Necromunda, Gorka Morka, and Blood Bowl. That's how you should look at this. Dread is always there, but to maintain the Dread license, they have to release a different 2000 AD thing. So you might even get to see something like the Button Man, modern.
What now?
Button Man I was going to say modern day, but I haven't read it since the 80s / early 90s. Button Man is an assassin. He's called a Button Man because they were killers. That, a Button Man would be somebody who would go and top people for you. So we might get to see a modern day assassin game based on Button Man, which would be fucking amazing. Now I think about it, there's so much good stuff in 2000 AD that they could do, and they probably will. But don't bet the. I mean, Slaying / Slonya. It caught them off guard. It was super popular, and they have no compulsion to actually go further with it. It's like, we have to do this, so we're going to do it. Oh, it's selling really fucking well. That's a shame. We're not going to maintain this. I hope everybody who enjoys it is enjoying it while it's there. It's not going anywhere else.
Is Ben the Button Man?
Ben might be the Button Man. That would be fucking hilarious. The problem is, Orinoco, Ben, like everybody else, is too young and won't understand the Button Man references. I feel so fucking old.
I can imagine, especially with some young lad like Shay around.
Pray away the Shay. I was playing. Oh, you like this, Hazy Boy? So I see you lurking there. I was playing First Blood with Shay today. So that'll be coming out soon.
Will Shay be playing with you when U-Boat is released again? When John gets his personal private
when John
copy.
gets his version from the Kickstarter, I imagine John will make us. I've made John play a lot of stuff that he doesn't want to play, so I imagine
Payback time.
I might do Payback. Although, joke's on him, because I quite fancy playing that.
Also,
How did I
you
find
might
it? Here's how I found First Blood. And I will preface this with, I think Shay was about it. It's a really good game. It's a good system. It's an intricate system. I was going to say it's not a simple system. It is. The mechanics of moving and fighting and blah, blah, blah. It's all relatively simple, but the layers of complexity come in where you have commands and other things that trigger, and the order in which you play those things out. And to that end, I think if you're going to play Conquest, either First Blood or Last Argument of Kings, doesn't really matter which, that's your main game. They're not. First Blood isn't it's a light skirmish game to get you involved. It's a complex skirmish game that takes as much time to play as the rank and flank game, but with less miniatures. So, if you want a 2-hour game of First Blood in an afternoon, then you've got a 2-hour game. You're not going, it's a 20-man light version that's skirmish. You're gonna hammer it out in 15 minutes and play another fucking 5 of them. And to that end, I think it's a really good game. At the same time, I could see Justin, John, and Shay's faces kind of looking bemused and confused at actually having to think about things and tactics and stuff. And so, yeah.
Using the cranium.
It's, yeah. I think anybody who hasn't tried either of them, and I think all the rules are online, the only thing you need are cards to designate for units, which is fairly simple to do.
Shay is lurking.
A play. See, there you go. There, he doesn't like the thinking. I have. Oh, hang on a minute. I think I may have brought them home with me. No, I didn't. I left the army lists there.
Oh, Shay, don't worry. Thinking is a terrible thing.
Oh, here,
it only leads to chaos.
I can show you something, right? So, I made out the 2 army lists. There were 800-point armies. And then I looked at them, and I was playing Spires, Shay's playing City-States, and I thought, I've got a couple of beater characters, Shay's got a beater character, and at the last minute I was going, you know what, maybe I should do a Biomancer instead of a beater as my leader for my warband, so we can throw in some of the magic side. And Shay's army was stat line on one side of an A4 page and all the special rules on the back of the A4 page. Mine was stat lines on one side of an A4, actually 1.5 sides of an A4 page, and then the back 2 sides were just all special rules. And then when I decided to change my leader to a different leader, the other leader had he had one stat line, and on the back was a full A4 page of nothing but special rules. So he had 14 ability / rule / command things. So it's got depth. There's a lot you can get into. But if you're just looking for a game you can play in between other games, probably not your best one. It has to really be a focus. You have to go, I really like Conquest, and I like the world, and I like the background and everything else, and I want to play in it. And if you want to do that, then both games I think are spot on, because you've got a lot to learn. There's a lot you can play around with. If you just want to play it every now and again, you're going to get annoyed, and there's going to be a lot of time spent going, I've got 4 command abilities. I can activate 2 per turn, and then I've got 2 activations where I can do other shit. And I'm going to spend 5 minutes now trying to work out what I want to do with my leader before we do it. And that, I think, it's not a quick and easy one you can go with.
It's a game that likes to be played more often than occasionally.
I think it's a really interesting game. I'm looking forward to playing Last Argument of Kings with the whole rank and flank and bringing on reinforcements and the like, where you can the battlefield shifts as other units get involved, because your light troops hit first and then your heavier troops are coming way down the line, and things can come in from the sides, and you've got flanking maneuvers, and that looks very interesting and complicated as well. So I'm going to enjoy that. I imagine again Shay will curse me soundly. The thing is, I can't even really bitch at Shay too much because then I'll never find my glasses. Shay's main job is to find out where I've put my glasses. So much so, I had 2 pairs with me today, and I put 1 pair down, went to the pub for lunch, came back, couldn't find where I put the other pair, and then at the end, after we'd filmed the entire video, and we were putting everything away on the shelves, and at one point I just looked down and went, "Oh, here they are here," and I'd taken them off and put them in front of the Nords like 3 hours earlier. So when we're watching that Let's Play, anytime it's me and Shay, see if you can spot my glasses at the back of the set, just in front of the Nords.
So the Nords had a very good view of the battlefield.
Oh, they had a great view of the battlefield. Absolutely spot on. Anyway.
Before we start showing people other people's project,
yes,
I think there will be some Terrain Fest entries in there. If I
100% Terrain Fest entries.
Is there anything else Terrain Fest related you might want to, don't know, leave a comment on?
There are 2 reasons, right? Reason the first is Red Scoop in the forum asked for people's favorite terrain projects because he'd seen some that weren't in the show, blah, 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 and other people have chipped in. And I thought, well, I've got a list of 37. We take away the 8 that made it into the show. I've got a list of 31 that I want to talk about. And then I seen Ewok Kebab had mentioned that the Terrain Fest show was like 20 minutes of Terrain Fest and an hour and a half of Warren talking about Shadoof and Acker, which I still think is pretty sure it's Acre. That's what I was told whenever I was a kid. Anyway, so there was like this massive show dedicated to Warren. I didn't really talk about the Terrain Fest so much. So I thought I'd show you some of the other things I'd picked out that had been whittled down and not shown in that show. So this is where we're coming from tonight, you bitch slapping whores, as they say in France.
Do you want to dive in then?
Fucking right I do, you mad gas, can't you? 30 minutes of Justin talking about Grey and a shovel. Unfortunately, Orinoco, I couldn't see it because it's on YouTube, and I don't give it to terrorists, so I haven't been back to YouTube since I deleted my account. Fuck 'em.
So now I need to get my signature done, and where the bloody hell is my... There.
I don't know how OBS works. This all looks terrible. Oh, yes, there we go. That's better.
So,
Nazroth, although...
He did get a golden button, did he not?
He got a golden button, but I still don't count that. So, in case people haven't seen him, or the butt-bats, the second prize... Sarissa, literally like 3 days before we started it, Warren went, we should reach out to other companies, because Ronnie's seen it on Facebook and went, do you want to get involved? How can we do this? And then he was going, wait, Mantic are involved. Reach out to all the other companies we know and then see what we can get. It's like, holy fuck. And Sarissa came back and went, we'll give you 3 £50 vouchers and a £100 voucher. It's like, okay. Cheers. So it's good. It's good times. Anyway.
Yeah, so he's building trees from old Cat 6 cables.
Yes, and as I said when he got his butt, I'm aware of his work from the Kings of War forum and his blog, because he does some really fucking nice stuff. In fact, I'll link his blog because I don't think I did it in the... I can't honestly remember because I was gearing up to a week off, so I wasn't really paying attention to what I talked about in the XLBS. But yeah, Scar hand painting. So I recognized his avatar, and his work is fucking really nice. These are obviously done for 10mm because he's doing a bit of 10mm Kings of War-y. You can probably ignore the painting services bit, which is what I seem to have linked you to, but you know, suck it up, people. But his gallery, which shows his painting, because he does commission painting, but his gallery does some really nice bits and pieces in there. And then he also has a tutorial section, and the tutorial and color recipes section is really good because it shows you what he's painted, and then he explains how he's painted it, and his tutorials are really good, especially the Armada ones where he's showing you how he builds. It's like the project. Here's how I've built this. Do you want to do like a Sargasso Sea? Do you want to do strange Negrand-esque floaty islands? Here's a ghost fleet, blah blah blah, whatever it is. So his tutorials are fucking spot on, which is really nice. And as you can see, he's a talented fucker. So
yeah, I'm not even sure why I'm giving him more screen time than.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't, because he's not sent me anything for free. To be fair, I've not asked, but you know.
If you need to ask, there it's not free.
But yeah, so if you're interested in seeing more of Nazroth / Scarhand stuff beyond that, and that's really fucking nice for 10 mil. Crispin, are you paying attention? That's Kings of War 10 mil scale, mate. You should be building some of those. But yeah, so if you want to see things like him doing black marble or doing some glow effects and stuff, and generally he does most of it with a brush and other tools. You won't find a huge amount of I've broke out my £300 airbrush to do X, Y, and Z. It tends to be a more sort of standard affair. There is some airbrushing you'll find in some places, but you can represent that or replicate it with dry brushing if you don't have an airbrush. But even stuff like that there, just making the wire trees and then adding the little foliage. It's really good.
While we're on the subject of 10 mil, I had a kind of revelation today. Because I was always very annoyed that there's no place where I can just look at games sorted by scale. And then I remembered, yeah, Beasts of War did that.
Shocking.
So I went there and found exactly one game that fit my train of thought, which was still in production. It was a 10 mil fantasy game. The only other fantasy game in that dimension was War Master, which isn't in production anymore, as far as I know.
No, but there is a fan site called War Master Revolution. If you're in the House Order #best house, you'd already have the links to it.
Yeah, the thing is, you need miniatures that don't come via the medium of ones and zeros.
Oh yeah, that's a shame. Although there are plenty of, I will say this, for War Master, actually for any game, use whatever the fuck you want. So there are plenty of people making 10 mil fantasy miniatures out there, and 6 mil, and 15 mil as well. So you could, and because you're dealing with base sizes, pick one. Do you want less miniatures or more miniatures on the base? Because that doesn't change any of the stats of what's on the base, because you don't count individual figures.
Yeah, I'm currently somehow a bit. I crave a bit of tiny fantasy.
Zombicide game, Nick.
From that company that does
Cool, many are not the
website
for just reading people's paint jobs. It's them.
The...
Shocked they haven't asked us to advertise anything.
Yeah, Orinoco Spellcrow was the one that was mentioned, but they don't do orcs.
Spell stuff, they're really nice.
But they don't do orcs.
No, they do barbarians and weird lizardmen and frog monsters. That's what you need.
Also, it's always a really fucking nightmare to find a shop in Germany selling stuff like that.
They're in Poland. They're just over the border. Technically, they're really part of Germany when you think about it.
Okay, next project.
Next project is technically 2 projects, but really I'm counting them as 1. That's how nice I am. So this is Hutch, who I think didn't win because he's too far away for me to steal his stuff. I think that's how it goes. If he was closer and I could somehow steal his stuff, he may have had a chance of winning. But
now I see where he left the weird
the
button
brooch.
Brooch, yes.
Yeah. It's good, isn't it? I mean, it looks excellent. until
I was wondering in the last project,
he
he showed it off, and I was going, where the fuck did that end up?
It looks like a cameo. Well, it is a cameo technically, but it's a fucking creepy one. What's
a very
going on?
creepy one, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you can zoom in and have a look at some of the striations on his stuff.
No, I don't.
That'll cheer you up.
I already can see them, and it's giving me creeps.
But yeah, Hutch is his ability to fire out a ridiculous amount of terrain in a short amount of time is just upsetting. Hi, Jill.
Hello, Jill. I was wondering, he's showing up these lamps with bases and wires.
Yes.
Do you happen to know how he's planning to light them up? Will he just put a button cell beneath them?
Just put a button cell and put a wire on top, wire on the bottom, and that's shallow enough that it will set flat and it'll light. You don't even have to be. You don't have to be clever with your wiring for LED lamps.
But I like clever. Hello, Doug.
Oh, hey, Doug. There's absolutely no need to be clever.
But I like clever.
A flat button cell like a 3044 is probably too big actually for what you need, but you know, something like that. And away you go.
I like clever stuff. That's why I like most things Mr. Blinky's shelling out.
I love those. I love the look of it. I mean, it kind of has a Dutch look. You can't have everything, but you know.
Are we on about the Dutch again?
Oh, no. Not about the Dutch yet. It's how narrow and tall they are. It's terrible. Absolutely terrible. Dutch. But yeah, so he did 2 projects. He did this, and they are shockingly good. Shockingly shocking. You'll need the police, mate, if you move closer to me. I'm fucking having your stuff. And there's not a court of land would convict either if they caught me breaking in, stealing all your shit. Because they look at that and go, yeah, you deserve that, McCabe. I go, I know, you're judge.
Especially since Lloyd is refusing, not painting your room.
Paint or build any of Rome. Gobshite.
Which is a crying shame.
Oh, it's a disgrace. I mean, I know they said Rome wasn't built in a day, but he's had fucking 4 years now, and he's still not putting any effort in.
And since that is only partial Roman on a very small scale, it should be done by now.
100%. I mean, I even ran him and Nick through a game of Gangs of Rome, and you would think he would have went, thank you very much, McCabe, that was great. I'll now build your Rome for you. But no, he didn't, no.
Yes. So this is his side project, or is this the one that started the terrain?
No, I think that it's difficult to say. They both ran simultaneously through, which is even more embarrassing / upsetting. So Black Sand and Gaslight both started on the 1st of October. I'd like to point that out, people who maybe didn't build Rome, if you're listening, you know, Hutch kicked back and in 1 month did 2 projects.
Technically speaking, so have I.
Yeah.
Even though the one is still in secret hiding for the next 30 days.
It's madness, isn't it, Demon? Once every decade, whether you want him to or not, now he comes out. He was actually in today. Is Hutch retired? I don't know if he is.
If only there was a way to ask him.
Yeah, unfortunately there's not. We'll never know. He's in Australia. So
Hutch didn't build Rome, though, did he, slacker?
No, we say that, but we've all seen his chariot race project.
Yes,
we did build a fucking, I was going to call it an amphitheater, but it's not. It's technically a stadium.
He built a substantial bigger part of Rome than Lloyd did.
Stadium. Yeah. in 40mm scale as well. So, ouch. So yeah, Hutch's Gaslight and Black Sand is just really nice. I noticed for Port Black Sand, he did dig out stuff that had been kicking around that he'd printed previously, and some of it had failed, and some of it he'd printed and not done anything with. And it was kind of a, let's dig all this shit out from where I'd stored it and then put it together and start doing something with it again. I mean, if you're doing one set of brickwork on one building, then you're using the same colors, and it's actually faster to do multiple buildings. So
yeah, I guess his lines of houses really lend themselves to be made a work of, what do you call it?
Batch painting.
Batch painting, that's the one.
I suppose,
yes.
or what do you call it, like a production line?
Yeah, production line was more the thing I was thinking of. Hello, Dave. You have missed a tiny rant about Terrain Fest, a smidge of envy about people being way too productive. Well, that's all.
You missed a bit where Pundancer said Poland is technically part of Germany and he wants it back as well. Missed that bit.
Can't remember saying that.
Then he started humming Erica, which, to be fair, is a catchy tune. So
at some point, you're going to get me banned.
I don't think I am. Nobody on Twitch cares. By the way, there's a set of pictures in Port Black Sand for people when they come to look at it themselves. And it's like halfway down, and they're all taken from eye level on the street. And you see like through alleyways and stuff, and they're fucking gorgeous. They're really nice. And if he was closer, I'd have them all. So, just saying. You'll know them when you hit them. Oh, it's after that. A bit further. They're not high view. They're too high up. What, you God?
Yeah.
Get you past the doors. There you go. Look at that. Shit like that. I mean, that gets me hard. It's fucking great. I just imagine Baldric emptying fucking Blackadder's shit all over the street from one of those windows. On top of
some
Percy.
Green.
Oh yes, Percy there was purest green. A splat of purest green. I'm not a 12-foot monster. Splish, splash, blush, lobster, lobster. Anyway, yeah, so Hutch, probably would have won the whole Terrain Fest thing if he'd been close enough for me to rob.
He could have won that single-handedly, if I'm being honest.
Oh, it was really fucking... There was a time where it was just like Hutch and everybody else can get fucked. And Ben had to talk me down off that ledge. Because at one stage it was like, what if we give Hutch the win for Port Black Sand, and then if we give him the best runner-up for Gaslight? How would that work? We send him a load of 40k terrain that he's never going to fucking use. How annoyed will he be? How pissed off can I make people with these prizes? What if we make Commodore Rob the winner and just send him 40k stuff? Anyway. So, yeah.
Just don't send them to Justin. He will just bin them again.
Well, that's true. You don't want to do that.
It was Justin, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Chuck it in the bin. There's no need to bother with it. If you're not playing it, chuck it in the bin.
Tiny headphones.
Okay.
I've not seen this before, so what is this? What am I looking at?
Right. Well, weirdly, this was the prize. I was off last week, so I don't know if anybody's actually fucking picked the prize winner. So this is he picked up from the Kickstarter. It's the Archon Land of
Dungeons
the
and Lasers.
Yeah. So this is a set of giant stuff that Tiny Headbones press gang / slave labored his kid into doing for some I think Rangers of Shadow Deep. Is that a game? That is a game, isn't it? Rangers, yeah.
I think it sounds like a game that some weird dwarven people would play.
Hey, walk.
I thought
I would show the people at home what they would have seen if Warren hadn't talked about Acre for 45 minutes, because you seemed incensed in Discord. I
At
was on
some point
holidays.
in the future, Jerry, I'm going to make you an award for the one with the most pokey stick in the hornet's nest.
Anyway, so there were a couple of reasons this caught my eye, beyond the fact that it was a prize, because I'd fucking not heard of it. In fact, Arcom went, Fantasy Trees and Land of the Giants, and I went, well, fuck, it's Land of the Giants. And they went, it's our most recent Kickstarter. It's not on the website yet. It's like, all right, okay, that'll do for a prize. So this weird gargantuan scenery, which I'm hoping Hazy Boy will get press scanned, because I got him to send me an extra set so we could use it for Conquest, because it's overscaled, and Conquest is like 57 mil or something, who knows. But I really liked it for a couple of reasons. One, got the kids involved in painting it, always a winner. Secondly, it was the weird two-tone primer, which is something I'm becoming more and more intrigued with. I think, you know, in my youth, I would have went, I want this to be a yellowy sandstone, therefore I will start with a brown or an ochre, and then I will dry brush it up. And they went, I want this to be a yellowy sandstone, so the primer is going to be some sort of burgundy purple, and then we're going to dry brush it up in the ochres, and it just looks so much more interesting. So
Yeah,
that's the reason.
It looks like the red army painter tone to me.
Yeah, I mean, it does say what it is somewhere. There's a lot of craft paints and stuff being used. So like yellow ochre from Hobby Store and
Colorforge Runer's Red.
Yeah, so Colorforge is one of these spray painty people that you can't get because I'm not in England and they don't ship. But maybe you're in England and they ship it to you. So
Hello, Zorg.
but yeah, interesting set of stuff. I actually have them behind me, Hazy Boy, to unbox and build, which I'll probably do tomorrow if I've got the time. So I'll know exactly how well they fit, because I've also got a set of satyrs for the city-states to paint up. So that'll be interesting.
It is a really interesting two-tone concept. I've got to give it to them.
Yeah. I mean, that, regardless of how good, bad, or indifferent the paint job is, and it's dry brushing, so it's all right. Just the fact that you go shockingly pinky red ochre over the top. Color-wise, they work really well together, and model-wise, they're just so much more interesting than just having a standard sandstone on the table. So, yeah.
Yeah, and the little splashes of colors that he later added with the trees and the vines really, really sell it.
Yeah. That's one of the interesting things, that because they made these for gaming, so even things like that hand is wide and flat enough to hold like a 40 mil round base on it, I think. So most, or maybe a 30 mil, but anyway, most single figures will be able to walk up those stairs and stand there. Yeah, Orinoco, Colorforge gave us a set when we were over at UKGE to test, and it was like, all right, work away there, Justin. And I've not seen him do anything with them yet, so
I think you're right with 40 mil. If you look at the scale at the bottom of the picture, so
there are
16 to 12, so that's 40 way past there. That should fit.
Yeah, but the whole idea is this is some sort of cyclopean
land of giants.
Yeah, where they've literally their stuff, they've all died off and their place has gone to rack and ruin. So you've got strange archways and
they went off to greener pastures.
Yeah, that's it. They're living on a farm upstate. Everybody's a kid's house. Yeah, I really like this from Tiny Headbones.
Yeah,
and hopefully they press gang their kid into doing more of the dull basic work for them. They did get to play a game afterwards, so there's a battle report in here as well, which is probably another reason why it was on my list of no, this is really cool. We should definitely have a look at this. Because why? For Trainfest? Why? Because there's a battle report. What? For Trainfest? Read the battle report. Really? Fox?
We need somewhere in between the other events that are planned for the next 12 months, we need a battle report month.
Oh, wouldn't that be amazing? I can but dream.
People, I'm going to put myself on a line here. If you write up a battle report, I will read it in voices.
Voices. That'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, especially since they will all sound like a drunken German.
Oh, well, that's the best way.
Collins, he does Minas Tirith on the classical way, sort of, kind of.
Yep. This is an old project. So this project had been done up until April last year, I think. Oh, no, there was some in January. Okay, some in January. But it was all about the armies that he was putting together for that Board of the Things game. But then he got his hands on a load of the runes. So it's a very simple, I need to put some scenery together for the terrain festies. So here is a load of Minas Tirith terrain. Here's some trees. And then just base it up. I mean, there's one other that's probably even more basic / classic that you'll see later on. But I really like this because it shows, that's a really nice gallery there, showing them all finished in different ways. And later on, you'll hit the building phase where it shows them all assembled and all the bases, but none of them primed or anything. And, you know, it's very much part and parcel of what the whole idea was, which was just get a load of terrain built for your fucking tables.
Yeah, I can see the appeal of it. It's...
no, if you go further down, you'll just see the grey ones.
It's simultaneously very eye-catchy and very simple at the same time.
Simply eye-catchy. Big bag of mixed basing compound stuff. There's a jerry can on that, or you can pay that hipped ear bastard over the odds.
I knew it at some point.
What? Put me off fucking calamari for life, for fuck's sake.
What?
What?
Why calamari?
It's all fucking octopusy hips. Shut up.
You go on. Like...
Well, good. I hope he made no money. Fuck him. Bell end. Absolute bell end that he is. Maybe a walk into traffic.
Dave, you go and make yourself a 40k battle report of any edition.
Going back to the real world. Excellent. Does that
Yes.
mean he's stopped telling sculptors that their stuff is too expensive and he'll buy it from Chinese recasters? Because fuck them. If he can buy it from a Chinese recaster for 15 quid, then why is the original artist selling it for 70?
I remember he did a video on why
Absolutely.
he's leaving YouTube, and I watched it. I forgot.
I didn't watch it. I've not watched any of his shit since he started telling artists that they can fucking charge far less than what they're worth for their stuff because he can buy from some fucking chink who's knocking them off 500 a dozen. Absolute bell end. Who's that again? Look.
Luke's gaming scenery, Luke's APS, affordable painting service.
Affordable painting service, yes. I still wanted to start my own version of it called Look, and then spell it L-O-O-K, then ape, and just have a big ape. So it's not the same. I'm not copying him, you understand? But they just sell basic mixes at like fucking 50p, just take a loss on it, just to piss them off.
You would sell NFTs of miniatures.
Oh, that will work too.
And speaking of similar but not the same, I'm still on the edge of buying breastsofwar.com.
Does nobody own that? Does nobody own that?
Nobody owns that currently.
Oh, man.
Last time I looked, nobody owned that.
Oh, we could get Shay to take pictures next time he brings the guys to the gym. And we just put up pictures of John and Justin's big moves.
Oh,
look at their moves.
That's horrible.
It'd be amazing. Just have that. It'd be like only paint. It'd just be 2 or 3 pictures of the breasts of war. Shay, did you hear me?
Or we could wait until next summer when Warren gets his jacuzzi out.
Oh my god. Let's not. Let's never think of that again.
Let's say Warren next year gets out his hot tub and then starts streaming.
Yep, sure. Let's do that. Anyway, Collins, well done you.
Nothing, Shay. Go back to sleep. You need your sleep.
I'm just saying, next time you go to the gym, you take pictures of Justin and John's moobs, their man boobs, and then we could put them up on the Breasts of War website. It'd be amazing. Do it and I'll buy you a bottle of whiskey.
I just want to emphasize today, I didn't have any beer, I didn't have any brown lemonade, and I didn't have any whiskey. I'm on caffeine only.
Sure. You do you, son. You do you.
Can't blame you for any of this.
Fucking can. Anyway.
From Monterey by Shinji Makoto.
Shinji Makoto. So,
the only thing I remember from that one TV series is going, "Hey, Toranaga-sama!"
That's the one. This is Star Wars Crisis Protocol terrain. It's not a long project, but there's a couple of interesting things. I think it shows what you can do even with a standard terrain setup. And you don't need to go mad, but it just did very simple things like basing them up and then adding extra detail around the bases just to make them more sort of in-world. The snake. Oh, the snake he's got to come back to. We don't have any of the snake finished.
Oh, shame.
But we've all seen the Krayt Dragon on the horizon in Tatooine. So massive, massive rib cages are always good. But just little things like adding like lean-to awnings and stuff in front of the doors, I just thought was really nice. There you go.
Imperfections make perfect. Yeah, that's
just
right.
Little things to add to it to make it. Star Wars is lived in. It's the whole point of Star Wars. It's a galaxy that's lived in, that's a bit dingy around the edges, cobbled together in places, and the buildings themselves have little nicks and dents in them, but are very clean. Almost, some would say, too clean to be Star Wars. And so the fact that he's gone in and gone, I know what, I'm going to start fucking around with it, is great. There's some really nice hints and tips in here, but really the main reason I wanted this front and center in front of people was the constant punning, like when he used the sand and then introduced the sand. Everywhere? I hate sand, of course it gets everywhere. And then underneath he said, if anybody thought I was going to do a project entry about sand and not use that quote meme, then you don't know me. And it's just constantly throughout it. I just really enjoy those. They're really funny.
Remind me, where do I know that funny guy on top of the van from? Is that a Moonstone?
Yes, and I'm not saying it's because there's some epic 40k scenery that has Beaky Bobby in it as well, and it's tagged as Moonstone to get my attention, because apparently if it's not the multi-award winning Moonstone, then people don't look at it. Hence Beaky Bobby for scale there. And again, you know, I appreciate that level of dedication. It's the way to go.
Yeah, I think that's one of the more easy things to get your stuff front and center. Just...
I mean, it's not really, because I don't go by tags. I just open every new project that gets made on the site and then follow them. I spent too much time on it.
Did you also follow the newest project that were about GPT and chat AI and stuff?
I followed a few of them, and then I put them to private and delete the spam bots who made them. There's two people who commented on the forum recently, yesterday in fact, but their comments actually make sense for the forum post. So I'm just waiting to see whether it's a bot.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. The one was a week ago, and the other one was, I think, yesterday.
Yesterday, the day before, yeah.
Yeah, and the only reason why I was aware of them is because they dug out an old thread, which has been dormant for weeks.
Yeah. So I'm currently just waiting to see what they post next, as to whether or not they get to survive.
You don't need to. The bloody thing is, even before the old AI craze, the spam bots got so clever that they posted something that was not suspicious, and a month later they start editing their posts.
Yes.
Because editing doesn't notify anybody, but it puts in links.
Yep. It's very peculiar, but thankfully nobody bothers reading that far back. The colouring page projects are the most amazing spam bots. And again, started in the Netherlands, and I'm not sure why. And I don't know how it works, because they're putting just all the pictures into the project system. So you don't even need to go to their link. You just fucking right-click and save as, and away you go. You've got your colouring in picture to print out. It's very strange.
It's all the weed, even the bots are high.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. But anyway, yeah.
That code looks funny. Send it.
So yeah, quite enjoyed seeing the long time ago train then from Shinji Makoto. And I mean, I imagine we'll see more of it.
Yeah, stands to reason that Star Wars Crisis Protocol is getting more love currently.
Yeah. It's just because we're waiting on the fire sale coming.
I knew it. I knew it that you wouldn't stop about it.
No, I would have let it lie.
No, you wouldn't.
I would have let it lie.
Mr. Geezer,
some, as you say, geezer discuss. These are in amongst Terrain Fest, and there was so much of Terrain Fest where it was like, I'm going to scratch build this, I'm going to dig out this, I'm going to 3D print that, and then some geezer comes on and goes, I've got some resin buildings kicking around for fucking ever, let's paint them. I was just so happy to see actual resin buildings from an actual resin people.
Oh god. Oh no.
What? You don't know.
Behind me in that cupboard sits a parcel about ye big.
Yes.
It contains...
Ooh.
No, not Fugu. Similar sheds to what the geezer is.
Oh, well, there you go. Well, maybe this is a gentle hint to you to pull your finger out and fucking deal with them.
But I have no need for fantasy stuff. I don't even remember why I backed the Kickstarter way back when.
So you sound like...
Yeah, I know. I don't have a dark, soothing voice like you have. Only when I'm very...
Smoke more. If you smoked more when you were younger, you'd be sorted now.
Your main will be on the list for elimination, Jerry.
Yeah, Frostgrave. Perfect example, Orinoco. See, do you have a reason to do them? You fuck.
Traitors!
Or the multi-award winning Moonstone. That is also true, although he hasn't succumbed to that one yet.
Frostgrave, I do own Moonstone. I only own the printed out version of the rules. So.
Yeah, well, there you go. You put the miniatures, or you put the standees down on the table in amongst your lovely resin miniatures that you've painted, and then you'll be going, oh, you know what? I should probably get the actual figures for Moonstone.
Yeah, that's the danger of it all.
How good would that be?
No, the first shot is relatively free, and then the next one is going to cost you.
Oh, fuck yeah. So, yes. It's a relatively short set from Simon. But it was nice to see somebody just going, you know what? I've got some stuff I started. I've got some stuff I've never bothered getting around to doing. And then over the course of the month, actually just fuck it all together. Get the scatter finished off and get the buildings painted.
I really have to say, I love that people actually caught on and ran with it, with the whole Terrain Fest theme.
You should ask for commission or something.
Because I pressure Ben into painting stuff.
Yep. That's how it goes, isn't it? Yeah.
I can't even remember what drove me to challenge him. It was a deep...
Was it because he kept saying, I need to get trees, and then never made trees?
I think it was something like that. And potentially that the fact that I myself do the same thing, I really should do this, and then I sit here all night, do nothing but watch YouTube and crap.
Oh man, could you imagine some sort of community award for that? That'd be great. Well, we're not going to see one of those.
Oh, where's it gone? It's gone.
I don't know. I've got a YouTube thing somewhere for 100,000 subscribers. It's been sitting in the same box.
Then you delete your channel, or you're mad lad.
No, I didn't have 100,000 subscribers. I got it for the Breasts of War, and I never even showed my breast. He's buggered off. Oh, he's back in. There you go. Look at that. Every award individually licked by Justin, cursed by John, and posted by Shay.
And then ruined by postal services.
Pretty much. Pretty much.
Free YouTube subscription for the winner. But don't say that out loud, since YouTube has started with this odd community special thingamajig where you can actually pay creators.
What?
Yeah, you can become a member of a YouTube channel and pay the money like on the Patreon.
Yeah, it's like Patreon, but for YouTube. Yeah,
it's odd.
I'd forgot they'd done that, because that's old now. I like the bit where they increased the price of YouTube Premium by 70%. That was my favorite bit, which they started doing about 2 weeks ago, after they started ad blocking the shit out of people. But I see the court case the guy from Ireland took against them is making its way merrily through the European court.
Yep.
Because they got YouTube.
YouTube actually did a Mines of Moria, they dug too deep thing. They could have detected ad blockers on a less invasive way, but the way they did it, fuck yous.
Pretty much. I think they're getting done for spying the last time I looked.
Yeah, it's invasive what they're doing. So,
Argo.
Who cares?
Fuck them. Anyway, so yeah, well done, Simon. You legend, you.
You old geezer.
He's a little wee. He's a geezer. Speaking of geezers, Liam.
What?
I'm going to say Liam McKenna. That's what I've decided his name is. Because I don't know about it. Oh, it could be Mackay, I suppose. Anyway, Liam Mack. He's making
45, sorry.
Peel Tower from Semple Loch in Scotland. And this I quite enjoyed for a couple of reasons. One, it's a little bit of historic, which is always good. Went there, took some pictures, found some plans, started building it out of the medium of polystyrene, like what the kids would do, but then also used like that ones and zeros thing to 3D print like details that he then add. Jam, a scat. So yeah, I think this is the best way to use ones and zeros. Is just to print details for your actual scratch
details
book.
And knickknacks.
Yeah, nothing else. There's no reason to do anything else. I do that fully in the knowledge that I've got 3 3D printed Space Marines behind me that I'll be unboxing for tomorrow.
Huh?
I mean,
3D printed Space Marines?
Yep. The two of my favourite things in the world, Space Marines and 3D printing. There's an unboxing that I'm going to enjoy. Anyway.
How's that even working?
Everybody makes 3D printed Space Marines these days. Pay attention. You should pay attention.
Who's talking?
Exactly. So yeah, the idea is to build up what the tower would have looked like before it become decrepitated. Unboxing involved a huge flame. Oh man, wouldn't that be great? I get him.
See, there's another revenue venue for Beast of War /OTT. You get to upload all videos uncensored and uncut, but it's only curses. And you need to pay extra.
That would be smashing. Oh,
Adults only.
I will.
Unbox with a blowtorch.
I will give you this, which technically isn't a train piece per se, but is interesting. But I have to rush off for one moment, so you can talk to the kids about that, because that's all quite nice, and they can give you some feedback about what the fuck is happening there.
Conrad is doing objectively markers for some kind of game I've never heard of. So let's see what Jerry has set us up to with this. Oh, now I see. They must be paying a lot for OTT feature. If they're even knockoff Space Marines and not some kind of 1:6 scaled stuff extra. What is he? I mean, nicely done flags. Flags. What's the purpose of this? Chat, have you any idea what this is for about? Is this some kind of wizardry? You play for objective control, blah, put in objective markers, blah. Oh! So that's it is. So it's for people who can't remember what they're fighting over. Well, I guess there's a use case for that. Super soapy pads. Do you feel relieved?
Well, not really. It was somebody at the front door, but they were looking for a different house.
Which is always the best thing.
Oh yeah, very much so. I do enjoy fuckwits who can't read. So yeah, interesting little project.
Oh, he's got a Cree cut.
Yes, and this is why. So he actually made vinyl stencils of the objective markers that he then put onto the 3D printed little banners. Obviously, you can just use other banners. But I like this. I like the, yes, the Dawn of War inspired objective markers. The fact that the objective itself, you can put a little flag in to say who owns it, and that the circular outline around it is the actual, so you can actually look down and just go, is that unit holding that objective? Yes. No. Yes. It's very clear cut. Yeah. There's no hovering over with a tape measure and going, oh, I think they're in range, so yes, way you go team. So I quite liked this one. It was different. And you don't see many people fucking around with their own stencils.
I think I need to take a closer look to the knockoff pre-cut my wife has that's stored somewhere because it didn't really work well. But
it could work well enough for doing Tiny Fighting Men hobbies.
Yeah, we didn't put much time into it because the bloody thing is big and needs space to set up and has to be connected to computer all the time while working, which is a pain in the buttocks.
Oh my god, I can't think of anything worse.
I can.
But I like the other bits and pieces, because as you can see, he's just done the cross swords and the shields. But there is the potential for others. Because he did a whole host. So he did the Fleur-de-Lis, the Smurfs, Gene Stealers, Nids, and a big dwarven head, which is, it's all kind of fun.
It looks like it does what it says on the tin,
yeah.
And I would like it even a bit more if the thing weren't 3D printed.
Yeah, well, you can't have everything. Can't have everything. I will say, and if you're watching this, and I don't imagine you are, but if you are watching it, I see you had problems, Conrad, with your banners, and I know you said you use steel wool to scuff the surface of the brass rods to help the paint adhere, and then you blamed your primer. Now that's Vallejo surface primer. That should have no problem with that. I don't know after you scuffed the surface if you went back in and washed everything, because you used a soapy pad that has soap impregnated in it. So when you're rubbing it down, all you're doing is covering that in soap, and that might be the reason it wasn't adhering properly.
So after roughing it up, using some alcohol to rub it down.
Oh no, just even hot water. If you can't get your hands on just actual bags of various grade wire wool, if you're going to use Brillo pads or soap pads or whatever the fuck they're called, you need to make sure that you remove any trace of the soap on it. But Vallejo Surface Primer sticks to metal like, what's the delightful phrase? Stink on quim. So, yes, it's great for plastic, but it's great for everything. So you shouldn't have had a problem. It's not a primer issue, that. So, yes. Don't know what caused that. If you didn't wash the metal after you scuffed it with the Brillo pad, then that might be it.
Vallejo Surface Primer sticks to metal like shit, says James Scotts.
Jam, 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 jam. So, yeah, anyway. But yeah, I quite like this one. This one, unfortunately, didn't get through because as much as I liked it, and Ben liked it as well.
It's very basic.
Technically, it's not really. I mean, technically, they're objectives. They're not terrain. They are very loosely terrain.
Terrain adjacent.
Sense. But I thought it was a really nice project, nevertheless.
Yeah, I think this could have been an honorable mention as for...
Well...
Even if only to appease to the 40k crowd, to increase the clickage.
But then that would have been less time for Warren to explain how Acre was coming on. So
I'm going to say yes, because technically you're right.
I have the best kind of right. Now, I did mention earlier that we had a very old school one coming. I so wanted this to fucking win everything. So
Brushes.
much. Oh, so very much.
What's this?
This is
Free Insight Orc Barroom Brawl game. That does ring a bell.
Yep. So this is a Lizardman / White Dwarf inspired gaming table for his lizard men. Right. And it is a classic gaming table.
Oh, I remember the pyramid.
We had they sent out resin pyramids to all the stores, and we had a really nice one. And then Noel, who was a manager before me, hit it with a hammer because he wanted to make a ruined one, and all he did was shatter the resin into bits. And I was never so fucking annoyed in all my life. But at that stage, I was only a full timer and I couldn't say anything. So this is very much the quintessential 90s gaming table. Writ large, from table to terrain, it is a classic fantasy board, and I fucking love it. I love it so much, I want to have its tiny little board babies. It's great. Because it's when you see the completed version and you get like the various tones of spray, and then it was flocked over the top of that, and then that was sealed, and then he made the rivers and the tree bases, which are all left off sections, made the palm trees. Later on, there's actual lizardmen spawning pools and pyramids and idols, and then you see the whole board laid out. No miniatures on it, just a 6x4. It's just a classic fucking board. I was like, holy shit balls, this is Terrain Fest. I'm going to make a gaming table for my lizard men, and here we go. Now that, to be fair, is a foam model or foam hill, because I had those with the rocks on either side. Jill, this was so good, good.
By judging the plugs on the wall, he could be close enough for you to steal all his stuff.
Yeah, but I don't need lizardmen stuff, because I don't play lizardmen anymore. I've got salamanders for Kings of War, and they're all lava based, so I've got a big lava mat and some Canadian lava stuff from them. So don't worry about it. You're safe.
Welcome, Scarhand Painting. First time chatter.
Hello. Yes. We've already looked at Scarhand stuff earlier. That's
I'm guessing that's why
that's the 10mm Kings of War stuff, and then his painting blog that I made you go and look at. Hello.
See, we looked at you and your fingers.
We touched you.
The only hands. We licked everything. It's all ours now.
Yeah, we're just looking through stuff that unfortunately didn't get the wins. Oh dear, more Kings of War has fallen into your flat somehow. This is a terrible, terrible shame. What's fallen into your flat?
That's terrible.
I was looking at the Clash of Kings rules update yesterday and discovered that some of the lists I'd played Paul with recently had gone down in price. I was getting more bang for my buck. It's like, Paul, these weren't... Remember how I hammered the shit out of you with my fucking Forces of Nature list? Well, it's now got cheaper, so I can add a few more magic artifacts in there. It's like, fuck you, McCabe. It's going, oh, good times. Anyway. But yeah, this was just... It was so nice to see a classic board setup. And then the work done on things like the spawning pools and the pyramid and the like as well were really, really good. So it's a nice blend of...
It looks nothing like game tables I had in the 90s, where the books for hills, the empty Coke cans for towers.
We'll get to the empty Coke cans in a couple of... It might actually be the next one, actually. Yes, we'll get to the Coke cans in the next one, don't worry. So yes.
Yeah, this screams rectangular battle reporty things from Adobe.
Oh, Jill, that all of the starter sets come with the new red book in it, which is why I ended up with Storm in the Showers. Well, I ended up with Storm in the Showers because I wanted Hobbits anyway, and the Riftforge Orcs. But then I also got War in the Holds, and then I got another version of the Shadow. Northern Alliance and Night Stalkers, and then all I did was I took all of those red books and handed them to people like John and Shay and stuff. Went, Kings of War, Kings of War, Kings of War. I want to play Kings of War. So,
do you have time to talk about our Lord and Savior, Kings of War?
Yep, very much so.
As long as John does not start ripping out pages again.
I think they're more. I think they're going to the GW Age of Sigmar stuff, which is depressing. But I'm older now, more world weary, less likely to cut myself. But yeah, the just seeing that board with the spawning pool, the Lizardman Temple, and the fact that they've used a mixture of scratch building and then 3D printing to make the temple and stuff, but it still looks like a classic. I'm trying to think when Bretonians came in. 97? I want to say it was 97. 98 was Gorka Morka. I don't think it was 99. Anyway, classic late 90s gaming table. It just looks fantastic.
Yeah.
Just so happy
we need a battle report on this. With pictures taken from right above.
Yes. And the old work makes it, I can finally pick up the last bits you need for your Kings of War force using Empire Troopers. I keep pushing him in that direction, Orinoco, and maybe he will. Time will tell. In the meantime, I'm just continuing. I've currently got 20 saber-toothed tigers in front of me that I picked up for a fucking steal from somebody to use as Northern Alliance wolves. So I spitballed what I had for Northern Alliance and then discovered that it actually seems to be about 4,000 points. I seem to have built a lot of armies up to 4,000 points without ever actually getting them out of the box. So
Shay is slowly becoming enlightened, though he started in a very dark place, so it's taking a while.
He could be darkened up to then. But anyway, yeah. So Lustria for Old Hammer's great. Added to which, anybody who fancies the old Hammer stuff, the Crown of Command podcast Discord, it's just fucking great. It's everything from 5th edition back, maybe 6th edition back, and then 40k, and yeah, it's just lots of people sitting around going, these are great. Has anybody got this yoke for an Empire War Wagon? And I swear to God, I have one, and I had it out recently because I was measuring ogre chariot yokes using it as a spacer, and I don't know where I've put it. But at some point I will find it and send it to that guy in France. Anyway, so yes. So yeah,
do we need
a whole
a
board done.
can of Coke now?
I'd like to point out that was from the 6th of October to the 22nd of October. So 6, 9, 15. So 2 weeks. 2 weeks out of the month of October to build an entire Lustria board from scratch. Just saying. There you go.
Yeah.
Did
Where's Rome?
the whole month, Lloyd, and you've not even built one fucking Rome building for me. You can't.
This never gets old. War was
It will
always
never.
here.
Montague Blackwood.
That's an interesting name.
It's a great name for anybody who likes Withnail now. I much prefer the carrot to the geranium plant.
Terrain for the apocalypse roadblock.
Yep. There were some really nice bits in here. One, right off the bat, was the idea that I've got a load of board games. I've punched all the counters out. These are really interesting shapes. Surely, rather than just fucking them in the bin, I can do something with them. I was like, yep, I can make window surrounds for walls. Fucking genius. I mean,
Yeah, you need. That's something where you actually have to have your brains together for a second.
Oh yeah, and presumably there was a amount of some form of plastic inserted in there so he could do the dirty surrounds of the windows as well, which is all good. I really want to watch Withnail now. Uncle Monty. I will have him by buggery if needs be. It's a great film. You'd love it, Tim. But yeah, beyond the upscaling of board game pieces, there was some really nice scatter for post-apocalyptic slash, the fall of man. Wargaming could be used for anything from Walking Dead through to Fallout.
Actually assembled Space Marine for size.
Zone Alpha, that sort of thing, yeah. So that the scatter was really nice because it's not your usual scatter. A couple of fucking huge tractor tires, some JCB parts up on fucking bricks, cars missing their wheels, that sort of those were really nice bits of scatter, and when he painted them up they looked spot on. But then you also had the sort of more standard bits of rubble and ruinage, with the herringbone, bit of milliput over the top for plaster, some balsa wood. Probably because I built so much over the years out of the same components. But this is what I really loved it for. The initial, I've got some foam card, I've got bits of a Nerf gun or plastic toys, and I put them together, and what have I got? A whole rake of industrial / sci-fi, post-apocalyptic, modern, futuristic industrial machinery. It all looks like it should do something, but it's just cobbled together from shit.
And for some odd reason, I like the pink stuff more than the final painted version.
Burglary.
This looks more like some kind of Left Behind Tau installation with all the pinky stuff.
There's a time mix. Boo. Yeah, well,
Do love it.
A whole host of Bitsbox, lollipops, foam core, and whatever other random shit you have.
The pink stuff is making James think of a Pingu set. Nort, nort.
Newt, that's the fucking one. So yeah, I just really like this. And you can't tell me I'm wrong, so fuck yes.
Well, I could tell you, but then
fuck you.
That would make me wrong, so where's the point in that? Also, you didn't tell the people at home what kind of brew you're drinking tonight.
Oh, I'm just drinking Swedish cider.
Oh.
Nothing. I was in such a rush. I didn't have time to go to my off license. I just had to go to the off license beside the station in Coleraine before I got on the train. It was literally just bar or off license onto the train, home, across the road, bam, bam, bam. Or 150 quid on Star Wars Crisis Protocol and plastic trash. Yeah, well, you know, either or.
Yeah, let's not talk about pricing in miniature gaming currently going bananas.
Well, yeah, but this, and I think this is the thing that I've really seen in Trainfest a lot was the old school kit bash cobbled together people, the people doing shit like this, and you go, right, well, they've got a handful of toys from a fucking pound shop, plus a couple of quid's worth of foam card, and off they go. And they made some amazing bespoke random things. Now, it requires it requires more effort than buying a pre-designed piece of kit. Because if you've got a pre-designed piece of kit, you know what you're going to get. You know you're going to have a tower or a silo or whatever.
Even before you start making stuff, you need some kind of creative spark to have a kind of vision what you want to have.
But for some people, you don't. Some people, you just go, what have I got? And start making something and then go, I've got these. I could glue this on here. Maybe I'll put those as a greebly and maybe use this as a bit of reinforcement and blah, 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 and just build it up.
Yeah.
And you just start building stuff naturally and then add and add and add until you end up with whatever looks like a construction.
Yeah. I think that works. If you want to make a terrain solely for the cause of making some terrain, regardless if you want to use it or not, I think just going on a rampage through your bits box is the best way to start. And if you want to have a specific type of terrain, I think that's the point where people more tend to buy stuff because, I need some functional terrain for game system X.
But yeah, I see what you're saying. But this is all functional for multiple game systems.
Yeah.
I mean, you'll see with Frostgrave where they suggest that you have moving staircase, a tower, a thing, 5 graveyard mausoleums, you know, shit like that. And there are companies that make them, or you can build your own, or you can just kind of go, well, I've got this that kind of looks right. I'll just ham-fist it. Not everything has to be 100% spot on all the time.
Correct.
I think is the issue. But I think a lot of people, certainly the younger kids these days, if it's not got the brand name TM circle R,
let's push it one further. If it's not tournament legal, they don't care.
Well, that's it's distressing to me in many respects, because this is such a modern, and it is super fucking modern idea or concept that you need to have the specific thing for the specific game that you're playing. Whereas before you would go, well, what the fuck do I have? Like Orinoco said, a couple of books under a cloth makes your hills, and then if you want to have specific buildings, you made them yourself. You didn't have, even going back 20 years, you didn't have so much terrain. 20 years ago, GW made fucking no terrain. They got a couple of foam bits and pieces made by Zitterades or whatever they were called.
Who are gone by now.
They're dead now, yeah, a couple of months ago now. Shame. And maybe a couple of bits for Necromunda and 40k that were the cardboard with the...
I was just going to say the only terrain they made more or less regularly were the cardboard inserts from White Dwarf and the occasional bit in the core box.
Yeah. So at some point in the last 20 years, that mindset of build your own terrain has flipped to you need to have this. And if you need to have this, we sell it. And if we don't sell it, then you don't need to have it.
Yeah, I would
sort of
even say it's people got more convenient, and also the hobby got more mainstream, and with more mainstream, more people with money come in.
Hate people.
And people with
I hate
money
people with
tend
money
to
the
just
most.
buy stuff instead of make
Oh,
stuff.
Jesus, they're the worst people. I mean,
Those people become super backers.
yeah. Oh, super backers, they're all cunts. Oh, Jesus. I've seen somebody asking if there was a PDF available as a super backer for, I can't remember what the fuck it was on. I was like, of course it's not available, you can't. They've not written the fucking game yet. Get fucked. Get fucked right out of here immediately, you massive bastard. But yeah, Damon, Joe, there's a really nice, it's a Stargrave. Where's Stargrave? I've moved Stargrave, haven't I? It's behind me now. I'm not reading back for it. There's a mission in a vault, and he suggests that you just take like 20 paint pots, and then you line them up in like a 5x4 grid with a gap between each one, and those are the columns of the vault. You're just looking at the bases, so you don't need to worry about actually having a vault built with pillars all the way around. You just put fucking paint pots down, lads. Just play the game. Don't panic over having every individual bit and piece correctly defined. So yeah.
I mean,
holy shit! Sundancer can type and thing. Wow.
It's also the I think it's already starting when you say to people, yeah, you can play game X, but you don't need to buy miniatures X. You can use whatever you have.
Well, yes, you can always do that.
Yeah, it's your game. You own it. You make it your own. Do what you want, and I think that's somehow that's getting lost for some odd reason.
I discovered, technically I'm a super backer as well, but I discovered you can turn that off. So I turned it off. Because all super backers are cunts. And I know deep down I'm a cunt. But there's not much I can do about that now.
That's why we're all here, because we're all cunts.
Yeah.
Wait, didn't I have a button for that? Yes, I did.
Oh, shut
Did you?
up, you cunt.
What's it say?
Oh, shut up, you cunt.
Gas cunts. Now, to be fair, gas cunts are great people if you're in the south of Ireland. Here, Tim, you're a gas cunt. Go on. Get on you.
More Time by Tony's Tabletop Stuff.
Yes, Jill, deep down. I hide it very well. You may not have realised. This.
More Time, it's a funny game. I've heard that name before, can't remember where.
Yep. This is very simple. 3 entries. I really liked it from Tony's Tabletop Stuff. And it was just making a
Tiny board.
a board section, a modular tile for Mordheim, but adding a bit of height into it. So the idea was you have your little mausoleum overlooking some ruined houses. I say mausoleum, it's not actually a mausoleum. It's just a big board, but it's got a couple of creepy looking people. It's got me in a hat overlooking the steps. But things like cutting out all those individual cardboard squares to make the tiles.
It's a bit madness.
Oh, good luck, Skipper. I won't be fucking doing that.
Well, to be fair, it's not that many if it's only part.
Yes, Jill. Yes, it did. I remember, look at this. Yes, the Normandy farmhouses are great plastic kits. I think if you take the Normandy farmhouse and Mantic do a ruined fantasy terrain crate that has like the little Dead Zone style 3-inch things, but they're like fantasy stonework. I think with those two combined, you could be Captain Planet or something. You also read every project. I mean, somebody has to, if it's not me, it has to be you, Jill, because everybody else just sort of skirts by them. They look for the 40k stuff.
I do confess I look at them, but I barely read them. As I have stated more than once.
Oh my god, you're the worst, the absolute worst. You're king of the worst. You're the king of the sausage people, as Dave Lister would say.
At least I'm not ruled by the king with the sausage fingers.
Good old sausage fingers, Charles. Ah,
Oh,
like
happy birthday, by the way.
like a pack of Denny's. Fix some of the pictures in yours. Oh, I've not looked at yours, James. Not in a while. I imagine I will, because I imagine if I click on the, I've got 150 new entries for projects I follow. So I've not looked near it since Friday.
See, kids, this is why Beast War becomes so slowly over time, because Jerry is building up so much notifications.
I can't imagine that's what it is. Oh, 2 new pieces of content for games I follow. What are those?
Yeah, it's a nice little piece of... I almost said cardboardy terrain, but that would...
I was going to say, it's not the Sharp Practice ACW for pennies on the dollar, which has been completed. That can't be you. Because I know that's not you. I know that's Night Runner. Oh, he's done fireworks. Cool. Anyway, let's not get distracted. Focus, man. Focus.
He's a man of focus, will, and thingamajig.
Kill him with a pencil. A fucking pencil. Who does that?
Good old
Good
Facebook.
Peter Stormare. A man who looked at Hollywood and went, I can make some money playing generic evil European.
Eastern European.
It's true. And he's actually Swedish.
Which is
clearly,
technically almost Eastern.
Clearly there wasn't a market. What do you mean it's technically Eastern? They're more to the fucking west than you are. Germany
no, they're
boy.
not.
They fucking are. Fuck's sake.
I think
Anyway,
you need to look at an atlas at some point.
I don't need to look at an atlas. I know where Sweden is.
It's northeast of us, so we're more west than there.
It's directly north. And then when you add the tilt of the world.
The tilt of the world, Hamburg.
Tilt of the world.
The world is flat.
Fuck you. Oh, man. Oh. So, some of you may, before we get into this topic, we will look at your project in a minute. Bunker. Admiral Fibib.
On Facebook.
So, some people may know that I'm a fan of ASMR. Some people may not. It's pretty much the only way I can get my tortured soul to sleep at night. And I discovered one recently where it was some fucking lunatic talking about a concave Earth that holds the entire universe inside it. Right? So the idea is the Earth is a bowl, so all the mountains and shit go like on this concave Earth, and then above the Earth is like glass that has ice underneath it looking down on us, and then between that is space. Stars and planets are very fucking small, and the sun's in there as well, beaming its light in one direction, and then above that is like the celestial ocean that contains all the other stars and heaven. And it went on for like an hour and a half, something like that. And I just want to read you, because I've kept this fucking bookmarked, the top comment on this YouTube video. Because I mean, it's fucking mustard. Normally, it threw it up because it's ASMR. Generally, I just listen to random Nordic women talking at me, but this is the top comment with 2,000 odd votes. This is some of the most relaxing mental illness I've ever heard. So there we go. Thought that was worth hanging on to, that one.
That's a t-shirt. This is the most relaxing mental illness I've ever heard.
It's an hour and a half of a couple of different men explaining how the Earth is a bowl that encapsulates the whole universe, and that's it. Hell is what's outside. Probably hell. Who knows? Nobody cares. Don't worry about it.
That's almost the same level of insanity like the Twitter account of the Flat Earth Society stating, "We have friends all around the world."
Could be. Could be that. All across the globe.
Oh,
anyway.
God. Yeah, so nice terrain, ancient plastic stuff.
Yeah, Admiral Fibib. building up Mordheim. There was actually like 3 or 4 Mordheim-based things. But there's a really nice picture early on of not just a graveyard, but a mausoleum in ancient Rome.
This one.
Yeah. Which led them to posit, why do we always do graveyards as a flat thing with 5 headstones or whatever it happens to be?
Well, because those are the ones we have in our daily lives.
No, I didn't send it to Warren, Jill, because I have to film. You just have to listen to it. I have to film it. And sometimes those hour-long rambles of Warren's are substantially longer than an hour, and they're edited down for the XLBS. And I don't need that on a Thursday.
That's some kind of torture.
Okay, right. So yeah, so Admiral Fibib decided that they would build height into their graveyard for Mordheim, which makes perfect sense. You've got a city, the city's walled, there's not much room for expansion, therefore things have to go up or down when you are adding to them. So taking the old Garden of Moor and discombobulating it and recombining it into many steps and columns, like Bon Jovi's Slippery When Wet.
That's a reference the kids will never get.
Fucking, I'm all about the references for the kids. All about it.
Yes, children, that's a vinyl.
You are the worst, Doug. The absolute worst.
What did he say? Inspired Napoleonic.
God save you. All who's sailing you. So yeah, another nice little mini Mordheim modular system, and it was some nice little tutorial bits in there as well, working with washes and adding the various rust and verdigris as well in there.
Sometimes I feel I found the hobby 5 years late.
Well, yeah, we all say that whenever you're not around.
Well, that would be never, because I'm always everywhere.
So you say. So you say.
I have my minions.
But yeah, the actual, as you can see, the playing time, the 3 pieces all done and dusted, put together, painting's all done, and there's plenty of room to fight in amongst around it. They'd have even more room if you put those on proper square bases. They'd be able to get far more shit in there.
Like we didn't have that
Bon
mentioned
Jovi's son is marrying 11 from... But is she not, like, 13? Oh, hang on, it's America. They're allowed to marry at 12. Okay. What are you laughing at?
Nah, I'm not.
Some Democrats tried to remove that last year, and they were voted down by Republicans who wanted to keep the legal age of consent in marriage at 12.
Marry at 12. Drive cars at, what, 14?
14 to 16, yep.
Buy a gun at 16, I guess.
Oh, no, you can get a gun much younger than that.
But having a fucking beer, you need to be 21.
Oh, yeah. Well, beer's dangerous.
Oh.
Giving people beer. They might go home and shoot their 13-year-old bride after getting drunk. That would be terrible. Then they'd drive her out of town and get a DUI trying to hide the body in a swamp. Don't want any of that. 19, you say? All right, fair enough. Pretty sure she's still 12. I've not watched Stranger Things in a while, but she looks 12. Well, you don't want people getting DUIs. Just saying.
Can we please go to the last project for the evening before my mental overload completely kicks in?
That's 100% accurate, DD. Nothing I've said there can be discombobulated. And a meth gator in a swamp will eat the body. That's how it all works.
Crossing Obstacles Gaming.
Yeah, I think we looked at this
Yes.
But it was on my list, so fuck you.
Let's look at it again. I'm not
Um,
even sure if we looked at it or if I just went.
No, I'm pretty sure we looked at it last week.
Oh yeah, the brass fittings. Horatio, the nosy blowy one, emailed me about that, and he's always also under the impression those could be regular brass fittings. But I think your point on the red and green paint on the inside has some
I'm
leverage.
fairly certain it's a tube of tomato puree.
Yeah. Also, if you look closely,
Because you can even see the little green tomato puree stock.
yeah, and
inside.
you can even see the seam where the halves are glued together, which wouldn't be visible on a regular fitting.
I did say you could use brass fittings for them, because they do them and they look kind of similar.
Yeah, but they are bloody expensive.
But they are expensive, whereas just getting your hands on a couple of tubes of something puree based, and away you go.
It could also be that this
was 12 Demigorgon years. Outrageous.
It also could be that this wasn't a tube but a can.
Why would you do it with a can? I mean, yeah, sure you could. The thing about tomato puree tubes is, and I know this because I've cut up several in my life, is they are that brass color on the inside, but you can see where the ridge line has been embossed. It's more silver.
Yeah.
Where it's been stressed.
That's true, but at the same time, getting the tube nice and flat like it is there is very hard.
Oh, you sweet summer child! You need to play with tinfoil more.
No.
It's really, really simple. Have I got tinfoil up there?
Oh, hold on.
Where's the Giant's Causeway? Fuck off, Giant's Causeway. I can't be arsed. You literally just pull it over the side of the desk. Have you got a desk in front of you? Just take it. Like, if this was my tinfoil, right? And you just take it and then just pull it over the side of the desk, and every pull will straighten it. That's really cool. How it disappears. Not that tinfoil. Oh my god, you're the absolute fucking worst. That shit tinfoil for remtards who mums go to chippy in their slippers. Like proper thick tinfoil, like a lead foil. Hang on a minute, I've got lead foil here. There's lead foil there. Which I'm almost undoubted you're not being able to see that. This is very similar to the stuff you would get in the
tube?
The tubes of tomato puree and that sort of thing. And you just need to, I mean, you can literally flatten it with your finger and thumb. It's so malleable. But you just pull it across any flat, sturdy thing. So the edge of the desk will just buff out any kinks or little indentations in it. And then it's just a case of adding those two lines. Now, I don't know, because I nuked my fucking YouTube thing, so I don't know if he's actually gone back and did a video subsequent to this. I don't think he responded to me going, "Is this going to be a video, matey boy?" It's probably for the best, to be fair, because I can't see it anyway. Tomato puree tastes better with the lead foil, very much so. Otherwise, you've just got a lot of brass foil. It's very bitter. Nobody wants that.
It's all an acquired taste.
Yeah, but I really like the Emperor Strider Station. I like it's very good for modern combat or that sort of affair. If you want to do some stuff in and around America, or if you want to do it in the Middle East, it's all much of a muchness. But the very basic looking concrete buildings made out of the cork are nicely set off by the shutters, which again you can do with your lead foil / puree tube and one of those crinkly things to make the crinkles.
The corrugated cardboard thingamajigs.
A crinkle maker.
Yeah,
that's the one. Yep.
Which is incidentally a tool to extract everything from a tube.
Yes, but not all of them have that delightful crinkle maker. Sometimes you get them and they're just flat I've got one for toothpaste, and it's just like a flat key.
Yeah.
It doesn't have the indentations to make the corrugation. So, but yes,
Also,
like everything in our hobby, it exists for another reason, and we've just subsumed it.
Yeah. Also, can I just say,
You
Ben,
can.
I hate you.
All right, yeah. Why would you say that to Ben? He's not even here.
Well, because he put up the calendar of many adventures from Log Battle Mats on
Shit.
OTT.
I meant to bring that home with me from the studio. Shay! Don't know if Shay's there. Shay, if you're there, post that to me tomorrow.
You rang!
Thank you. That, I meant to bring that home with me. Post that to me. I need to look at that for review / unboxing.
No! I'm dying.
Shut up.
No.
What else are you here for? Oh my god.
Well,
You
I
kids
hate
using
Ben
television,
because
your drugs.
it's actually made me look up where to get this thing in Germany and paste a link to my wife on WhatsApp going, I'm just going to put this link here. You think of a use for it.
You don't need one. Because you've already got that lady in Germany doing the squirrel calendar that you sent me a link to, what I've ordered. So, squirrel.
It's a lovely squirrel yoga calendar.
It's a fucking amazing squirrel yoga calendar. You haven't lived until you've seen yoga squirrels.
And I think they're actually postcards you can then use to send postage, if I can remember correctly.
There are both. It started with postcards, and then mutated into a calendar. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah. Glad we've sorted all this out. So yeah.
Well, Jill wants to a link to the squirrel calendar.
Oh man.
Did I send it?
You sent it to me because
Did I send it to you on Discord? By any chance?
Yes. That would be it, wouldn't it?
I guess. Let's see. Is it there? Not recently. It must have been somewhere else.
Oh, Jesus. There's Draconis. Back in July.
Can't we search bloody...
Hang on a minute. This will probably be the easiest way. It wasn't cheap, but I think it was worth it.
Ah, found it.
Oh, have you found it?
Yep. There it is.
I was going through my bills on PayPal.
It's a postcard squirrel doing yoga calendar for 2024.
I like the tiny little acorns that do yoga with the squirrels. They're my favourite bit.
It's a lovely detail.
I don't think they're actually. I think that she says they're hazelnuts, not acorns. But I still think they would make more sense as acorns. Anyway.
Or they do look a bit like
but they
both.
don't have the little cap to be an acorn. I think if they had a little woolly cap on them.
Yeah, but since the acorns tend to fall out of the cap, they could also be acorns. But then again, it's interesting thing.
Squirrel is Asgiliga, or whatever the equivalent is for German. Oh, it's very stylish. I mean, for fuck's sake, what do I need a fucking calendar for? I don't have any.
I think this
I have any plans, friends.
It's not having for plans or friends. This is to have a thing to enjoy, to look and just go, yeah, that's funny.
Spelled June wrong. I have subject that is true.
And on that subject matter, I'm going to close up shop here.
Oh, was our tightly scripted half hour done?
Yeah, we're almost up to tightly scripted, whatever.
Fair enough. Bit like that then.
Gary Playboy McCabe, cowboy or wrestler name?
Undercover name, because the last Jerry McCabe got shot by the IRA in the South. So
Oops.
that's why I'm very much averse to them getting released. Those two guys. What if they got a taste for it? What if they killed one Jerry McCabe and thought, you know what, I want more? And they start hunting me. That'd be terrible.
Yeah, nobody wants that. That's actually something we should avoid because we need Jerry to have a great time.
Ewok, you missed out. This entire thing was just for you. This was all the stuff that you would have got to see if Warren hadn't been talking about Acre. This was the rest of my shortlist. After me and Ben went through this and took 8 out, and this was the other 12 that made my shortlist of 20. Somewhere else I've got another 17 because my original shortlist of 20 was 37 long.
So if someone wants to indulge themselves in some video editing, take the video from Terrain Fest.
Yes.
And insert
and
this.
Just take Warren out and just put this in the middle where the Acre bit goes, and then just cut back in for like the winners.
Yeah, that's about it. Well, that's it.
According to Ewok, it was it like 45 minutes Ewok out of an hour and a half or something like that?
I think the complete video was a bit over an hour, and half of it was Warren.
It was like 10 minutes of Justin, followed by 20 minutes of Terrain Fest, followed by 45 minutes of Warren.
And then at the final 10 minutes, both winners announced.
And then the winners.
They just went, yeah, and these are the winners.
There you go.
Did Warren win a prize?
No.
Well, goodbye.
Over.